Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Aries Only, where I channel messages for Aries only. Today we're doing a reading to see what your guides would most want to say to you, or your angels. So we're just going to jump right in and start shuffling oracle cards. If you want to skip the process, please feel free to fast forward. And we're going to basically just get a few messages from them, oracles, and then I'm going to get advice cards. And we're going to see what they want to say to you. So, what would Aries guides want to communicate to them right now? What is the main message for, oh my God, Aries guides? The Christ flame. Okay. And let's see. What message? Oh. Does Aries guys have for them? What's the message Aries guides have for them? Okay. Ooh, death energy. Okay. And higher perspective on the bottom of the deck. What is the energy message that Aries guides have for them right now? Mercury, communication. What is the message from Aries guides right now? I almost want to put these like up here. Or like, okay. I don't know if this will stay up. Oh. All right, kind of. Okay. What is the message from Aries guides? Come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance and desires. With the sisterhood of the rose, beauty and devotion. Priestess, mystic teacher. What is the message from Aries guides to them right now? Look for a sign. Okay. And ask for help from others. All right. So let's see. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and see what we got here. Sorry, I feel like the lighting is so dim. Like sometimes this light doesn't come on right. Like it like comes on like dimmer than it usually is, and then it's like super bright next time. So weird. Okay, so what do we got here? We're gonna have to like read from the book a little bit. Hopefully that's okay. You can skip it if you're not into that. I totally get it. Just two of them. The Christ flame I want to read into, and the death card from this oracle card deck. So let's see what the Christ flame says. Within you burns the flame of the Christ. Beyond religion, this flame belongs to all hearts willing to receive the divine. Opening to it as a lover would open the heart to receive the beloved. Though the awakening of the Christ within brings greater closeness to the divine and therefore greater love and depth of compassion, it too can bring sadness, righteous anger, and a passionate need to contribute positive healing action and change in the world. You may be an introspective soul who does this through mastering their inner world with meditation and yoga, raising your own vibration with absolute intent that this bring healing to the world around you. You may be an extroverted soul that thrives in sharing messages and living a life of dynamic action in support of the causes that are worthy and moving to your brave heart, capable of feeling divine outrage and responding with inspired action. You may be a combination of these soul types and choosing wisely what you consume, which companies you support, what television you do or do not watch, and what you read. Wait, is that right? And what you read, voting for the life you want to have around you in the world through your actions, internal and external. This is the Christ flame igniting within you, setting the world aflame with the fire of divine love. This oracle brings guidance that you are connecting with the universal Christ consciousness, and your heart is meant to awaken as a sacred heart, bearing the Christ flame of divine love this lifetime. You are part of the wave of awakening happening on the earth now. You are exactly where you are meant to be and doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. Keep going. Oh, what a beautiful message of like hope and, you know, believe in yourself and things like that. I really like that. So basically it's saying like you're meant to be on this planet at this time. Like there's this whole message of communication here. Your words, your thoughts, you think differently than other people. You have different thoughts, you have different curiosities, you have different goals. Maybe you're somebody that, you know, was born into like a wealthy family, but you never felt like you were satisfied by that. Like you always felt like you wanted something more. Or maybe you're somebody that changed jobs a bunch of times because you could never feel you always felt like you were missing something, you weren't fulfilled by something, because you were missing that more soulful connection to the divine that this card was talking about. And I feel like you maybe have like recently been opening up to it more, or been feeling it more, or just been more sure that like that's what you're meant to be doing. So let's look into this death card now and see what that says. Maybe that'll help clarify this message for where exactly you guys are at. So let's see. I think it's right there. Death is a more spiritual energy. I'm not surprised. The ether, oh, it's like categorized differently. These different cards. Okay, death. Okay. This card signals that an ending, change, or metaphorical death is currently happening or on the horizon. It may feel like the universe is stripping things away from you. You may feel shaken, raw, and uncertain. This is okay. This period is a preparation for what is to come. New adventure and abundance is making its way to you, and it needs space. Sometimes we can get too focused on the things we need to get rid of, or the things that need to die, that we are not inviting new things into your life. When we bring in more life, it is easier to allow things to die. If you find yourself in a period of death, try to incorporate some new things you can enjoy to create balance. So I don't know if I really think that that's what's happening with you right now necessarily. Obviously, if it resonates, but that with this come to me, attracting like a rose, receive abundance and desires. I feel like this could be Spirit's way of saying that you've been through a lot of different, what's the word I'm looking for? Like phases maybe in your life where things were going really good and then things were going really bad. Like I feel like you've been through a lot here. And it's through those experiences that your soul's like metal was like really tested and really was able to be constructed and like grown in a way that maybe other people haven't been able to do. Like other people could have had the same circumstances as you, but like their mind and heart wouldn't have made them, like, for instance, like people that have been through like a lot of pain and loss in their life sometimes become bitter and sometimes become a more compassionate human being. There's nothing wrong with either one of those things. You have to be in certain energies, I feel, at certain points in your lifetimes, you know, in order, and that's just the way it's supposed to be. But like, but that's what my point is that like you reacted differently. It's like you saw the benefit of like what this was saying, how it was like try to look at it, you saw the higher perspective of the situation. I almost want to look at that card too. I don't know if you want to bear with me here, but I'm just gonna see if it's like I'll just skim it, and unless it just like really resonates, and then I'll be like, oh, sorry, we're reading the whole thing. 36 air. Okay, so that's not even like an ether card. As people who do their internal and spiritual work, we are less likely to be bogged down by drama or reactiveness that we know doesn't truly matter. But being human means that there are times where we can't help it. Sometimes it is easy to stay in a higher perspective and see all the moving pieces as they truly are, but sometimes life and the people around us are very good at sucking us into a space of limited vision. This card is asking you to see whatever situation you are experiencing resistance with from a higher perspective. So yeah, I feel like the way your perspective is very different, and that, again, not that you're not prone to being human yourself here, but sometimes like maybe it does get the best of you, but like upon reflection you're able to be like, okay, like this had to happen for a reason, and blah 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 blah. So I feel like Spirit's really highlighting your perspective and saying that, you know, you're really like, you're like dialed in to something here. Like you're dialed into your own soul. And I feel like you're the message. You have like a message to bring like to the world here. And it doesn't need to be like publicly. Like I always, there's a reason that that expression, be the change you want to see in the world, is like a saying, and such a popular saying, because that's like how you change the world. Like I've talked about this before on my channel, but a lot of times I feel like people almost are looking outside of themselves, like we're waiting for some new law to be passed or something to come save us, when in all actuality, like we have to turn inward. If everybody could do this and everyone could turn inward and try to be a better person, try to like see the other person's side and be more understanding and compassion, like I mean that's how the world would slowly change. But you know, and sometimes it's like you're the one person surrounded by a bunch of negative people, and you have to be planting those seeds for people all the time, and it's exhausting and you feel like you're not making any progress, but it's like I feel like you keep going. So let's see what your guides want to say to you guys. Don't be afraid to make a fuss if someone is violating you in any way. Embrace uncertainty. That's, okay, obviously way too many. Start listening to your own conscience instead of the news. Yeah. That's like kind of the idea that I was just picking up on. When your mascara is $23, there's no time for crying. It is a wise thing to be polite. Consequently, it is a stupid thing to be rude. If you envy someone, it's because they're reflecting everything you could be if you would just believe in yourself. Weigh and discern everything you're told. And honestly, as long as you're happy, who the hell cares? Ooh. I wish I would have done less rows. One less row. But I didn't. Okay. Sorry, that's kind of cut off, but... if you just believe in yourself. Okay. So that's the best I can do. So yeah, I don't know. Don't be afraid to make a fuss if someone is violating you in any way. I feel like that's coming through to be like that whole like divine outrage. Like if you're feeling that you see something that you need to stand up and use your words in order to stick up for somebody, like do it. Like don't be afraid to use your voice here. I'm gonna get tarot. Okay, death. Oh, death energy. It's like I feel like sometimes the fear of causing like an ending, the fear of getting fired, the fear of, you know, having somebody like break up with you, the fear of causing a friendship to end by like standing up to somebody. It's like it's scary, and I feel like, but here the Knight of Swords, it's there's if you see something and you feel that divine outrage, that's coming through for a reason, and you need to speak up. So I feel like that's like saying that you have the bravery to do that other people don't have. But why is that in here? Oh my God. Okay. All right, that said soul tie. I always feel connected to you. Embrace uncertainty with the 5 of Cups. I feel like this is Spirit's way. Oh my God, yeah, strength. Spirit's way of saying, like, you know how to go through pain. You don't have to worry about what's coming next because you know how to grieve. You know how to grieve your emotions. With that whole Christ flame thing, I'm just thinking of, remember how I was saying the good and the bad? Like, you know how to go through the different seasons of your life um, without falling apart. I don't want to say without falling apart. I feel like you know how to fall apart and then put yourself back together. That's how I would mostly want to phrase that. Um, and I feel like that's why they're saying, like, you don't have to worry. There's no need to worry. I saw that card in this deck when I was shuffling. There's no need to worry because you've already been through so much and you know what to do. You know how to handle yourself in the realm of your emotions, of loss, of death. We have death coming through here twice. You've maybe been through a lot of endings. That's what I'm getting. Friendships ending, relationships ending, like maybe even deaths, losing family members and things like that. Different jobs, moving, like just change. You've been through a lot of change. You know how to handle change. Five of cups and a 13 with death. You know how to handle change. You don't have to fear it. Like, whatever is happening, you have to use that higher perspective in order to realize that, like, that's what centers you. Again, it's not something outside of yourself. Now let's, like, yeah, like, go here. It's something, yeah, the Hanged Man. Your ability to just sort of hang loose and go within is something that you have that a lot of other people don't have. Like, yeah, that soulful, that connection to your own soul. Again, with the Six of Cups, I know that usually talks about a soulmate. There's one cup on this card. So that to me is making me think of, like, that's like where the magic comes from with you. It's like your ability to stay centered and grounded within yourself no matter what is going on around you. If there's chaos, if there's people trying to tell you that you're wrong, if there's people trying to tell you that, like, almost, because you know how I was saying you know how to fall apart? I feel like there could be people that don't really understand that, maybe call you dramatic or emotional, but you're like, no, like, I know how to get my emotions out. Ace of Cups. Yeah, the Ace of Cups usually is like water spilling over the cup. Like, I don't feel like you hold your emotions in. I feel like even if you're wearing your $23 mascara, you're gonna cry it out if you have to, because it's better out than in. Like, this just happened to me at work the other day where I was sitting there. I'm a waitress. The cooks, I hate them all. I'm sorry, this is like not nice, but they always like mess up my food on purpose. Like, I'm not eating there anymore. Like, I asked for chicken franchise, they put no sauce on it. It was just dry as a bone and disgusting, and it's like the best chicken franchise in the world. I know this is like such a stupid example, but it's like every time with this place, it's just like so frustrating. I was sitting at lunch, I was stuck in that building for 12 hours. It was the only food I could have. Otherwise I would have brought my lunch. And I remember I was sitting there with like my fellow waitresses just crying, and they're like all looking at me like, okay. They're like, stop, it's okay. I'm like, no, I want to cry and get it out. I'm not working the rest of the night all pissed off. Like, I'd rather just sit here and cry for 5 minutes and like get it out. Like, and they're all like looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm like, I don't really care. I'm sorry, but it's just like, I don't know, this just like reminded me of that, where it's like, you know, like sometimes it's better to cry for 5 minutes than to like, and like let it out, than to just like, then you're going to be mad all night. I had a great night the rest of the night, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I have to work another double tomorrow. I'm bringing a turkey sandwich. Like, I'm not even going to worry about it. It's like, just find a solution and move on. Like, I'm not going to sit here and stew on this for weeks and hate them and give them the satisfaction of getting them an attitude because that's what they want. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? When you're in a situation like that, it's like better just to like deal with it head on, like right then and there, like deal with your emotions. And we have like all water energy so far. So I feel like that's what Spirit's really talking about. That's where your strength comes from. You know how to handle yourself in the realm, even if other people are like, that's weird, or you shouldn't do that, or you should. It's like, I can do what I want. I don't know, but I feel like you know what to do for yourself here, and you know how to, like, it's like better out than in when it comes to emotions, you know? And I feel like you know that. It is a wise thing to be polite. Consequently, it is a stupid thing to be rude. I feel like that is a very, you know, wise advice. Page of Wands in reverse. I don't know why this card keeps coming out. Page of Wands in reverse, especially if you're maybe dealing with, I feel like this is saying that it's better to almost like go cold in these situations where maybe you feel like you have every right to be rude. With the Five of Swords, people giving, oh, and the Devil, like people in these like, you know, egoic, not good intentioned energies, like the cooks that I work with. It's just like, it's better just to like, you know, take your focus off of it. Like, again, like obviously get your emotions out, but like don't, if these are people, like, for example, you have to work with every day, like what is going in the kitchen screaming at them? I'm just using this example now because I just already talked about it, but it's like, what is going in the kitchen screaming going to do? Make them like try to like fuck up my food later, like for my customers, I mean, or just like, you know, it's just going to make it more unpleasant. Like, it's better just like, I didn't even let them see that I was upset. They were in the kitchen eating, I was outside in like the restaurant. And I feel like it's a wise thing to be polite, consequently is a stupid thing to be rude. It's like, especially if you have to deal with certain people, like don't, but it's saying, but also don't, I wouldn't go in there and be like, oh, hey guys, like, thanks so much for that chicken franchise. Like, you know, it's like, I just don't even, I focus on the girls that I work with. I focus on like, you know, giving good service to my customers. Like I focus on like my service, but like on, it's saying take your focus off. You might want to, you know, take your attention just off instead of being rude and causing like a big stink. Like, there's other ways to go about, limit your communication than you know, flipping out and going crazy on somebody. Like, I feel like they're saying like, make a fuss, but do it in a way that's gonna like, don't cut off your own nose to spite your face. Like, don't create more friction and problems. Do it in a way that's gonna be like wise and like mature, and just gives you the most emotional satisfaction. Do you know what I'm saying? If you envy someone, it's because they're reflecting everything you could be if you just believe in yourself. Oh, put that up there. The Tower in reverse. Okay, sorry. With the World, I feel like you could get caught in a trap here, like a spiritual trap, where you almost feel like, oh, I am above jealousy or envy, or I'm above like anger, you know, or just like whatever kind of like bad emotions, classified as bad emotions. We'll say jealousy because it says envy here, where it's like you need to just maybe, again, like acknowledge, maybe you have a better time acknowledging your more emotional watery feelings than with like your more fiery like jealousy or like anger. It's like you could have a tough time dealing with that, and almost at least like get to the root of it. And I feel like Spirit saying you need to like explore, your guys are saying you need to explore your jealousy, your envy, realize where it's stemming from, because it says they're reflecting everything you could be if you just believe in yourself. Are you envious of them, but really you feel like you could be stepping it up more? Or are you envious of someone who's like, you think is beautiful, but really like you're beautiful too? You just don't see it because you have low self-esteem. You don't feel confident for some other reason. Maybe you're a little bit overweight. Maybe that's like sapping your confidence. Maybe you're, I don't know, not putting effort into your appearance or something like that, the way you used to. Maybe you feel like societal pressures, like, oh, I should be wearing makeup and doing all this, but that's not your thing. Whatever it is here, you need to like get right with yourself. Like, okay, like I envy this person because they're so pretty, they're glam, but like I don't like whatever believe in wearing makeup for whatever reason. So I'm just gonna like, you know, realize that, I don't know, like this is stemming from a place where I'm not comfortable with my own life decisions. I don't know. That's like the stupidest thing I've ever said. Like, don't listen to that one. But do you know what I'm saying though? Like, I hope you're getting like the vibe of what I'm saying. Like, get to the root of it. Oh, like this person is started their own business and now they're working from home and they're quitting and I'm so jealous. But like, I have ideas of stuff I want to do, but I'm too afraid to put myself out there. But like, if you just believe in yourself, like you could go and do those same things and try and potentially have those same successes, but you'll never know if you're not trying. It's almost like you're keeping these jealous and envious feelings inside because it doesn't feel right to you, doesn't feel congruent with your soul, but it is a part of you and you need to like explore those as well. Weigh and discern everything you're told with the Queen of Cups. Like, make sure it passes through that intuition, you know, and your own like sense of what you think. Like, you know, it's like, especially if it's about you, like you definitely need to like tap into your more intuitive side sometimes and be like, even if this is true, does it feel right? You know, does it feel right to me? Is this something I want to believe? is this a belief I want to adopt about myself or another person, especially about gossip? I don't know. That was just another message coming through in my head. But it's like, especially if you hear something about other people, especially don't repeat it. If you were there, and you heard it with your own ears and you saw it with your own eyes, that's one thing, but don't go by what other people say. Like, everyone has their own different perspectives, and that's what the way they're looking through the world. And you have this very high perspective that's like been the message of this whole reading. And it may not be the way other people see the world, so you may just have a complete difference of opinion about a lot of things, and that's okay. You don't even have to say, you just be like, yeah, okay. And not really have to challenge other people's beliefs. Honestly, as long as you're happy, who the hell cares? The Knight of Swords. I feel like there's a message here about just being, and not, there's something here about maybe you feel like you need to change other people's opinions or make them see life the way that you do with your words. And I feel like you could be getting in maybe arguments with your family and things like that. Like, you're not seeing life the way it's supposed to be seen or something like that. But you could be getting arguments with the Knight of Swords, I'm getting, from two differences of opinion, from having a difference of opinion from people around you. So I think that's why Spirit's coming through here to be like, you don't have to take on what these other people think either, but you also don't have to convince them of your side. If you're happy with the way you're living, what does it matter what other people's opinions and perspectives are? Like, if they're going to wake up to certain things, they are, you're better off, going back to this message from the beginning, you're better off being the change you wish to see in the world and living your life and planting those seeds by just being yourself. And maybe you will never see evidence that this touched anybody's heart or mind or soul in this lifetime, but like, that doesn't mean that it hasn't, you know? It's like, it gives people something to think about. It gives people something to, like, especially if they're being rude or mean or something and you're just being very neutral, like, and they're not getting a reaction, it can make them kind of like think back on their behavior later, like, for example, and be like, ooh, like, whereas if you fight back, they're like, see, like, it almost like proves their point, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's better just to like sometimes take a step back and let people like fight themselves in the mirror than like engage with them yourself, you know? Because that's what happens when you do step back, then they're fighting with themselves in the mirror, and that's when the seeds are planted and like the progress is felt for this other person. But I don't know, I feel like you're really meant to like maybe deal with some really challenging people and situations in this lifetime, that you have to really be a strong person. Let's get some more advice for you from these. And I feel like you handle it with grace, but it's not an easy path here, guys. And I feel like this message was kind of like all over the place. Like, I feel like, and even from the beginning, it was like kind of like, oh, the bad times, the good times, whatever it was. I feel like this is Spirit just like tying up a lot of like loose ends. Your guys being like, oh, we want to say a few things to you. They kind of all were fitting together, but there was also like, they're kind of all over the place at the same time. So sorry, I don't know. That wasn't like one specific message. That was like, let's tie up a lot of loose ends of stuff that you're wondering about right now. Maybe with the Knight of Swords, your mind is racing and there's a lot of like, your consciousness is expanding, and there's just a lot of new thoughts you're having, and a lot of it's changing the dynamic that you're having with other people so much. So I feel like your guides want to just come through and just say a few things here. But what just happened? The inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. Yeah, more so worry about how you feel than what other people think or are saying to you. Any advice for Aries before we close? Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. I feel like you're going through an awakening. Nourishment, replenishment, health, rest, and self-care, the sacred waters. Oh, the codes of the seeds. I feel like, yeah, you are planting seeds where you go, but you're not seeing like outer results, and I think it's bothering you. So I think Spirit wants to just like reassure you. What else? Any message for Aries? Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? Akasha, your guidance is divinely guided. So you're on to something here. I think Spirit wants you to know, like, we're with you. Like, this is supposed to be confusing. This is supposed to be like, you're supposed to make mistakes as you go. Like, you're not meant to be perfect right away, or ever, but you know what you're doing. Just follow like whichever way your soul leads you, and just go with the flow, go with the wind, let the wind take you. Just God bless. Good luck to you. So I don't know. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Okay? Bye.